Hi, Jem. Just here to do your reading. Let's start off with the unicorn deck. I will go ahead and get some clarifiers from there. We'll see what I'm going to use next. It's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise. Okay, well, Feather came out in reverse. That's number 8. Wishes came out in reverse. King of the Unicorns came out in reverse. And Rainbow came out in reverse. Interesting. Okay, so all I'm trying to say is that all of these came out in reverse. All that really means is that there may be something that you need to flip around. Perhaps your perspective. Geminis are very, very known for having two sides to themselves. And although you guys are awesome people, sometimes you can be a little bit prone to choosing one way or the other and then flip-flopping. So make it convenient to flip-flop. Cool, cool. All right. So what I'm seeing here, Feather in reverse. This calling card from the unicorns tells you that they are near you. Okay. So your spirit guides are not far. They are not far behind you. They are on your heels. On your heels, man. They're like right there, right there. Just kidding. Okay, then wishes came out. It says, be careful what you wish for, as one wish will be granted. So, like I said before, although you guys are really good at being able to see both sides of a perspective, just be careful that the energy that you're in right now is not completely negative or completely biased towards one direction instead of another. You guys are really, really good at being able to flip the script though. So use that towards your benefit at this time. And King of Unicorns came out. It says, you are blessed with majesty, vision, and power. That came out in reverse. So you might be feeling more or less like your spirit guides are tickling your fancy towards a wish that is actually going to give you quite a bit of power and a new ability, a new vision, a new modus operandi. And the rainbow also came out in reverse. And it just says, there is a rainbow beyond the clouds. So right now you might not be able to see that there is a blessing in disguise in your life, but it is trying to land. It is trying to come in here as the King of Unicorns. So I'm not sure how this applies to you guys. You will know better than I do. But I will also get you some clarifiers. I am trying to talk a little bit fast because I think my computer is going to die in a second. So I do apologize if this cuts out on you guys. Let me go ahead and see what we can see. I'm going to use the Amun Ra Tarot deck to get you some clarifiers. Hold on for a second. I'm just going to go get my power cord because I don't want it to cut out on you guys. Hold up. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, like I was saying, so this kind of feels part of the reading might be for you guys. I'm hearing girl interrupted. You might need to interrupt your own thought processes to flip some of these cards around. So in any case, don't be rushed. Just go with the flow and figure out for yourself what exactly in your life might be a little off kilter at the moment, making you feel like you're unable to see what's coming at you. So anyway, I got blessings in reverse for the feather card. I got truth in reverse for the wishes card. Oh, please don't give me everything in reverse. Thank you. Courage in the upright for King of the Unicorns. And talisman in the upright for rainbow. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how this came out. The feather card came out with blessings in reverse. So this is a calling card from the unicorn, and it tells you that they're near. So if you're not feeling blessed at the moment, you might need to do some prayers, some introspection, some actual beckoning towards your spirit guides in some way, shape, or form to clarify for you why things are not going the way that you want them to go. The feather card is number 8, which is typically a number of abundance. 8 on its side is a forever symbol. So I don't know if you guys have been considering something forever and you're not feeling like it's coming into fruition, so you're not feeling blessed. But I think oftentimes when you find feathers on your path in life, it's a symbol or that is a calling card that has been placed there by the ethers and by the animal spirits and deities to kind of indicate to you that you're doing something positive, a positive movement forward. So I'm seeing this as being a frown, and that feathers may be coming off of a frown at the moment. You may not be experiencing, there's 3 here. You may not be experiencing the blessing of maybe the Trinity or some kind of an emotional fulfillment that you were looking for. And on this card here, the feather is just laying on the ground. The unicorn is actually not facing the feather. It's not moving towards the feather. This is what it looks like in the upright. So that's what I was trying to say here, is that you may need to call your unicorns back and say, hey, I would like some assistance with direction, with my ability to manifest, with whatever it is that you're working towards at the moment. Okay? Okay. Then you've got wishes in reverse. And that came out with the truth card in reverse. So your wishes may not be honestly what you're wishing for. I know that sounds weird, but let me give you an example. If I wish that I could have a new piece of jewelry, I could just say that. I could just say, I want a new piece of jewelry. Okay? If I don't clarify for the ethers, for my spirit guides, for whoever, whatever source may be, that I want a specific type of jewelry, that I want a new nose ring, that I want a new eyebrow piercing, that I want a new earring. If you don't specify, then they can't really give you exactly what it is that you want. So you might get a piece of jewelry, but it might be a toe ring for all you know. And what you were really looking for was a tiara, or you were really looking for a necklace with a matching, tennis bracelet. And, you get my drift. But all I'm trying to say is that when you're trying to quill or pen for yourself a future, you got to be really specific about what it is that you want, how it is that you want it to come into fruition, and why. And if you're not, then the universe doesn't know how to help you or how to deliver the news that you may or may not get what you want. So if you don't get what you want, you can't really complain about it. But at the same time, if you're more honest with yourself, just clarify for yourself, the universe, and your spirit guides exactly how you want those wishes to come through, you'll have a way better opportunity to make good on that request. And instead of being disappointed by the dishonesty that you were kind of unintentionally speaking or unintentionally quilling for yourself, then you'll do well to kind of listen to the fact that you've clarified for your spirit guide, that you've picked up the feather. This is a feather here, the feather of truth. You've picked up the feather, and you're able to actually manifest something more. It's actually really challenging thing to do is to be specific, because sometimes you don't know exactly what your future vision is until it's right in your face. So sometimes surprises are nice like that, but other times, if what you're looking for is a specific blessing, then just be very as specific as possible in your prayers, in your requests, in your thoughts, in your ideologies, and the universe will conspire to help you. Okay, then I have courage coming out with the King of the Unicorns. So, King of the Unicorns says you are blessed with majesty, vision, and power. So, like we were just talking about vision and how to create a vision that is going to come into power, you've got to have the courage to at least try to be as specific as possible. And it doesn't mean, I think a lot of people think that when they're specific, that they're being greedy. Yeah, you are being greedy if you're just going to sit here and say, hey, I just want myself to be myself. Blah, blah, blah. If it's all about you and it's never about somebody else, or if it's all about um, material wealth or something, for example, yeah, you may not be successful. But if you're putting out there prayers for the world, prayers for other people, positive advice or constructive criticism for that matter, and you've got the courage to do so, then you will be rewarded. Truth is sometimes uncomfortable. So, maybe saying, I would like a piece of jewelry, but rather than giving me a piece of jewelry, I would like for you to bless my children. That takes courage to sacrifice what you want for someone else. And that's the definition of love. So I think, when you think about the ways in which you'd like to harness this incoming power and message, you can see the two. I don't know if these are unicorns or if these are actual. I think they're actually birds on either side of this guy, but whatever. They could be unicorns either. Either way it goes, if you're gonna invoke the help of your spiritual team, have the courage to do that in a valiant way. And I believe it or not, that is karma. What goes around comes around. So I think whether or not you're vocalizing what you want, if you're able to vocalize for someone else positive intentions and the ability to just actually use your powers for good instead of evil, then just by default, you will have a blessing for yourself as well. It will create joy and happiness and bliss and euphoria in your own heart to the point where it expands, and maybe the piece of jewelry no longer matters, Maybe you gain a jewel of a friend instead. You know what I'm talking about? So things can come to you in different ways, shapes, sizes, forms, amounts, but it takes courage to try to really focus for yourself on who, what, when, where, why, and how. Be efficient about it. So anyway, we have rainbow in reverse. Read the story about Noah's Ark. I know I'm not really religious, but I do like taking tidbits of information from every book. So I'm going to use the Bible in this case. Noah's Ark, the rainbow was a symbol that the world would never be cleansed by way of water again. It was a promise from God. It was God's promise to the earth. And if you can remember that, if you can remember the fact that certain animals did not get on the ark, such as the unicorn, then you can also maybe understand some of the hidden meanings behind certain talismans, certain keys to life, certain ways to unlock your own power and your own sacrificial ability. I have nothing else to say about that. I'm going to go ahead and get you guys some animal advice, and we'll see what the animal kingdom thinks about all this. Let's see. Gemini. Okay. So, by the way, I didn't say that because I don't think that the unicorn was invited to get on the ark. I just don't, I think you need to think through it by yourself. I think the unicorn is one of the most magical creatures. So are narwhals. So are rhinoceroses. You just have to think about it. And I'm sure you'll come to your own conclusion and it will probably be correct. All right. Oh, got the crocodile. I got the goat. I got the frog. And I got the ram. All right, here we go. So, like I was saying about this blessing here, this seems like water to me, like I was saying before. And when you look at the feather, there's not really, outside of like a duck, or, you know, a stork or a crane, there's a lot of feathery creatures that actually operate out of water. So what I'm seeing here is that your crocodile instinct to eat those I don't know why I'm just seeing like a crocodile like chomp. Okay, you may need to, if you're acting like the crocodile, you may need to leave it alone. Do not eat the crane or the stork or don't do that. Opportunity, risk, fertility, and life. As with many mythological reptiles, the crocodile in this painting appears wise, menacing, and somewhat indolent. So all I'm trying to say here is that when you see your blessings, even if they look like a very tasty little treat, it can be very tempting to pounce on them, to grab them, to take them for granted, to think for a moment that you've got more of an understanding. If you look here in the crocodile card, half of the moon is above water and the other half is below water. Okay? And the fan here, or it's actually like, it's not a fan, it actually is like a little oyster that he's holding, like he's like looking at the oyster, but it looks like a fan. So when you think about the fact that the crocodile is a fan of eating feathered birds that may have dropped blessings here and there for them, I know that certain birds clean the teeth of crocodiles. They actually come and peck dead pieces of flesh that the crocodile has eaten earlier out of the crocodile's mouth, like a toothpick, okay? That's a blessing. But if the crocodile is too eager and eats the little birds that are willing to go in its mouth and clean its teeth for it, it automatically becomes a non-blessing. Not only for the bird, but for the crocodiles, okay? It's like dragon breath all over the place, and we will just leave it at that, okay? But that's a great example of what I'm trying to talk about here, is that you need to be able to recognize your blessings. If you can't recognize your blessings, you may miss them. And any good thing is not going to just sit there and wait for you to come to your senses. Just not going to happen. So, I mean, the little birds that are trying to clean the crocodile's teeth, they're not going to sit there and wait for their friend to be reincarnated from the dead after the crocodile like jumped on it. He's not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're actually never going to go back in the crocodile's mouth ever again. So, you know, it's kind of a lesson that you could learn the hard way, but I would encourage you to just learn it the good way. Learn it the right way the first time, because it's not worth the karmic cycle having to replay itself all over again. Especially because these can be painful lessons. If the little birds that are losing friends to the crocodiles, eventually all of the birds are going to be like, you know what? Forget the crocodiles. They can have the stinky breath. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing here. I'm also seeing that wishes in reverse with truth in reverse is coming out with the goat in reverse. So goats symbolize caprice, mischief, sexuality, and fertility. It's Russian peasant folklore tells of a similar mischievous forest spirit, the Leshy, which have goat hooves and horns, as well as black fur, wings, and a tail. The Greek god Dionysus was also frequently represented by the image of a goat. So Dionysus was actually a very gluttonous god. He was one of the ones that liked to feast off of the nectar of the gods, if you will. And I will let you guys look that up for yourself, because speaking of the goat, this is kind of what Baphomet looks like. But anyway, yeah. So basically, when you're searching for a blessing, any kind of blessing from any other land creature, if you dig too deep, if you try to mine their or plumb, I'm just hearing, like, if you literally try to pull from something or somebody their ability to offer their own personal truth to you, then you actually have reversed the entire point of the process. So if you're trying to say, I want this person to wish me well, okay, if you're not honest about why you want the well wishes, if you're not honest about how you want the well wishes, if you're not honest about which nectars you've got to offer, whether they be mental waters, heart space water, or nether region water, which is actually what the nectar of the gods was. But I'm just trying to tell you that can turn real ugly really fast, like real fast. So to force somebody to do something or to offer a wish on somebody that is not a positive, truthful, truthfully uplifting blessing with bad intentions, you can take the situation and flip it on its head really quickly. And I'm telling you now that Baphomet is not one of those beings that you want to do that with. I'll just leave it there. And I'm not trying to say that goats are Baphomet, but I'm just trying to tell you that they look very similar. So when you're trying to recognize a well wish or positive thinking, you might need to figure out what you're looking at before you decide to step on people's toes. In any case, yeah, the King of the Unicorns came out with courage and the frog. So obviously, right off the bat, I'm saying you need to take a leap of faith to believe in yourself and your ability to have whatever it is that you want, no matter what your lineage is, no matter what your overall disposition tends to be. I'm just seeing Harry Potter's lightning bolt there. The frog is feminine energy, creation, and yeah, I don't know what that word is. It's Fecundity. Yeah. The frog is a creature of the water and has been associated with new life. In Egypt, frogs were placed on mummies to facilitate rebirth. So I'll just leave it there. You need to rebirth the ability to look at yourself as a king, or look at yourself as somebody who's able to ride the lightning or ride your spirit guide unicorn right up onto that arc. That's the way I'm seeing this here. This is a jewel that this frog is sitting upon. It's a piece of knowledge. It's a gem, Gemini, that you don't want to miss. And you've got to have the courage to be able to say, hey, you know what? I know who I need to call upon. I know who I have been, and I know how to invoke the courage that's needed to be a king, to create kings, to envision a king happening in my life, having a place in my life. Okay. And then last but not least, I'm sorry, I'm going over, but whatever. Rainbow in Reverse and Talisman came out with the ram. Like I said, the ram symbolizes sacrifice, growth, and divine life. The ram is a symbol from ancient mythology that has long been associated with sacrifice and ritual slaughter. So, like I said before, find out why, for you personally, what makes you worthy of these keys to life. What made us as humans worthy to take God's promise and give it to our children? What is blessings via rain and water really mean? Is that a Monsters Inc. kind of thing? Is it a you know, 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea kind of thing? Is it I mean, there's so many different ways that you can kind of try to break this down for yourself. But think about all of the animals that did get on the ark. Think about the ones that maybe didn't. Think about if you believe in the dinosaurs in the Bible. Think about things that would make your brain itch. And then try to actually grow or sacrifice some of what you've already digested for yourself in lieu of a more wholesome or inclusive ideology or mindset. Because I think there's really beautiful things to be investigated and learned from the signs, the symbols, and the clues that have been left behind for us as humans. You know, maybe the unicorn just didn't want to get on the ark. Or did he? Okay. Bye, Gemini.